Buenas tardes, nogalenses, fronterizos, familia. It is me, Joe Wright, aka El Gringo Más Mexicano, and I am here with Yuridia Sánchez, and we are going to talk in just a little bit about an incredible senior project. Probably the coolest senior project that I've ever heard of. Like, my senior project was a boring journalism thing, but this is cool. This is really cool. But before we get into that, of course, let's talk about events. So this Friday is Veterans Day, and in the morning will be the Veterans Parade downtown. And also speaking of Veterans Day, Croppers Nogales Auto Center, one of our allies, will be offering a special discount to all veterans and active duty law enforcement, including Customs and Border Patrol and first responders. And it's a $500 General Motors discount plus an extra $500 Croppers Appreciation discount. So if you're veteran, first responder, active law enforcement, any of it, head on down to Croppers. It's $1,000 off of any car. It's pretty awesome. But there are more events going on, of course. Also, this on the November 11th, from 10 to 3 p.m. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sorry, right at the Christus Rex Lutheran Church in Rio Rico, there will be a fall market. And there's going to be music activities, foods, crafts, all kinds of cool stuff. And they're still looking for vendors. If you are interested in, the phone number is 520-619-9964. You can also check out our flyer for that on We Love Nogales right here on Facebook. The Christmas Village, if you know anything about what happens on Morley Avenue during Christmas time, then you probably know about the Christmas Village right in Karen Park. Now, they're already setting it up. I drove by twice today, and I got to see them setting it up, and it's already looking really cool. But it will be officially on display starting November 22nd and going all the way to January 7th. It's a very, very cool thing to see. So once it's all set up, make sure you come down to Morley Avenue and check it out. Now, apparently, also Patagonia is going to be doing an art walk starting from November 24th and November 25th. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so right in downtown Main Street, Patagonia. You can start your holiday shopping. They have so many cool shops. Have you been to Patagonia anytime recently? Yeah. So I love walking through Patagonia. It's such this cool vibe, you know?
Yeah, I used to work there, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing the art walk right down the main street. Art galleries, studios, and shops are all going to be open. And you can even use the Patagonia's virtual map by visiting www.patagoniacreativearts.org/walk. Or you can pick up a printed map at any of the participating locations. That's it for the closest upcoming events, but of course, fall starts and Christmas time, there's so many events going on. So please make sure that you check out our Facebook page regularly to keep updated on events that are coming. News, it's election day. Are you old enough to vote yet?
Yes.
Yes? Did you vote?
No, I haven't.
Voted. So, it is election day, but there are only two things on the ballot today, when they're both regarding Nogales Unified School District. One is the continuation of the 8% bond override, and the other one is an additional $26 million bond proposal. And those $26 million are meant for upgrading infrastructure. I mean, if you've been in the school district, then you know some of the buildings are a little bit older.
Right.
And are in need of some help, possibly. So that's what the $26 million bond proposal is supposed to do. There are still, the polls are still open. There are 5 locations altogether: Wade Carpenter, the VFW building, Challenger Elementary School, Abundant Life Church, and the Nogales Rec Center. Those are the 5 polling locations that are open for today. If you haven't voted yet, you've still got a couple of hours. Make sure you head down there and vote. All right, the other thing is Morley Gate. The Morley pedestrian grade is still closed due to construction that has resulted in extended, insane wait times for the other pedestrian gates, whether it's the DeConcini or the Mariposa Gate. Construction for that is supposed to be done by the 25th, and it does look like they're moving fast, so hopefully that will be resolved very quickly. All right, are you ready? Awesome. So I am really, really excited about this. Again, introduce you, Yuridia Sánchez, and we're here to talk about possibly the coolest senior project I've ever seen. we were just talking before the cameras turned on. We were talking about how we both love the stars and things like that. So I'm assuming that's where inspiration for this came from.
Yes, so ever since I can remember, I think before kinder, I've always loved outer space and space exploration. And when I was little, I would used to make bracelets and pens and bows, and I would sit at my dining room table for hours making them so I could sell them at the 4th of July in Patagonia.
That's cool.
To try to make enough for space camp, but I never made enough for it. So
Oh, man.
yeah, I never had enough, so I wasn't able to go to space camp, but I would always be stargazing and watching the new launches. I used to make my mom get up at like 6 in the morning to watch them. And so always worked on it. And I mean, I never got an opportunity to go to space camp, but it's always been something,
space camp.
right? It's always been something that's been really very, like, it means a lot to me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's what inspired this senior project. Now, do you want to explain to viewers who might not know what is the senior project? What is the purpose of a senior project, and where does this come from?
Right. So last summer of 2022, I was approached by Norma Ruiz. She works for 4-H. And she knew that I love space, she knew that I love STEM, that I had been in previous programs such as MESA and robotics. And so she came up to me and she told me that there was this new opportunity coming up for Arizona students to go to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida and participate in a Higher Orbits Go for Launch event. And I didn't know what it was. I just knew I could go to the Kennedy Space Center, I could work with students, and I could do something in the space industry. So I signed up for it right away.
Cool.
And I was one of the 2 girls that went from Arizona. There was only 10 students. Yeah, there was 10 students who went, and I was one of the 2 girls. So I got to spend a week in Florida, and I had all my expenses paid, thankfully, from the U of A. And so when I was there, I got to meet the founder, Michelle Lucas, and I got to work with students from Illinois, Indiana, Florida, and Arizona in teams to create an experiment that we would like to see in outer space, and also work on our STEM building skills and get presentations, all while being at the Kennedy Space Center, where there's a rocket garden right in front of you. So It was a dream come true. I cried when I got there.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing. I remember I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I finally made it. Like, I'm here. I did it. And so from then, as soon as I got back, I landed in Phoenix. And as soon as I got my internet back, I texted the founder and I was like, hey, I want to keep working for you. Like, I want to do something. How can I be involved? And so for a whole year, I was messaging her, trying to get her attention, trying to be working with her. And she has a really busy schedule because she travels all of the United States and even out of the United States doing programs for students. And finally, after I applied for a program in Australia, she contacted me and was like, hey, we didn't pick you for the Australia, but we were really impressed. Like, we want to give you an internship.
Oh, wow.
So it was a dream come true. I got to talk to her, and she told me about all these plans that she had that she wanted to work on with me, what she wanted me to do with her in my internship. And so I told her for my senior project, like, here in Nogales, it's a small border town, and for the longest time ever, I really wanted some opportunities for space exploration for students who want to take that path, and there never was any here. So I mentioned it to her and I told her, hey, how can I bring this to Nogales? I want to do it. Like, I'll do whatever it takes. Like, I want to do this for the students here because it's something that I can give back to them that I wish I had when I was younger.
Of course.
And so I talked to her and I had a meeting with her and she said, you know what, I'm all for it. Like, let's do it. So I'm working with her right now to try to bring that same program that I did at the Kennedy Space Center, but here in Nogales for students.
Okay. And so what is this? What is this project?
So in the project, we came up with a name for it. It's the Santa Cruz County Go for Launch. And so we're going to have students from all 5 school districts. So that's Sonoita, Rio Rico, Little Red, Patagonia, and Nogales.
Okay.
We're having students from all over the county come together to Nogales. They're going to be able to meet a real astronaut that's been in space. They get to meet Michelle, work one-on-one with her, work in teams, have all these STEM building activities that I got to do, and they get to work from scratch. They have to plan.
So she's going to be here. She's
going to be here, and
cool.
We're going to bring a real astronaut as well. So
okay.
we're in the works for that.
Okay.
And so they're going to be here, they're going to be working in teams of students, and they get to plan an experiment they would like to see in outer space. And this can be from animals to plants to food, whatever they want to see. And so they plan it from scratch. They get to come up with how is it going to work, because the project has to be in a small box and the astronauts can't open it, can't be touched. It has to be in the International Space Station,
Okay.
closed, sealed.
Okay.
So they have to plan.
Well, there goes my idea.
I know. So they have to plan out how it's gonna work. They have to design it, the costs. They have to figure out if it's gonna be something that they need to record the data. How are they gonna do that? If it has to be moving, it has to be fed. How is it gonna happen? Because again, they can't open the box. They can't
Yeah.
touch it. So the students
So
have
it has
to
to be
plan.
fed. They've got to figure out how.
Right. They got to figure out
So-
everything.
My idea is an animal.
Yeah, so they were like, no live chipmunks. It can't have a spine, because animals with spines are a lot harder to take care of in space.
Of course.
So, I mean, it has its rules, but they have to pick what they would like to see in space. And they plan out their experiment, and then they compete against each other, presenting it to the panel of judges, which includes the astronaut and the founder.
Okay.
And so they present it to each other on the last day. They work really hard on their presentations, and then the winning team gets to move on to get their experiment launched into the International Space Station.
So cool.
Yes.
So you mentioned these schools. They're all elementary schools, or are they?
So because of a wide age range,
Yeah.
I wanted to include elementary school and middle school and high
High school, of
school.
course.
So for right now, I decided the grades that would most likely be able to participate in this more would be from 3rd grade to seniors.
Okay. Cool. So that's still a pretty wide group. All right.
Yeah.
And teams can be made up of all ages.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're trying to split them up, have a wide variety of each group, so that students not only get to work on the experiment and get to work together on STEM, but they also get to interact with other students who they don't know and bring the community closer as well.
That's very cool.
Right.
Awesome. So how can somebody participate? Where do they go to figure out how to participate, to register, or whatever the process is?
So right now I have been contacting the school districts. I contacted all of the principals. I'm contacting the school board, and I'm sending them flyers that they can post around the schools. I've had teachers say they're going to post them on Class Dojo, on their social medias, and on these flyers there's a QR code. And once students scan that QR code, it's going to take them to a Google form.
Okay.
And it has simple questions such as, what does space mean to you? If you could meet anybody in the space industry, who could it be? And it's just a couple questions that the students can answer. And then at the end, they need to upload a teacher recommendation.
How many do you think are going to put Elon Musk?
Oh, so many. I'm thinking it's either going to be about like Elon Musk, or it's going to be, I don't know, like Sally Ride or someone.
The normal ones.
Right, yeah.
For sure. Sally Ride would be cool.
It would be really cool.
Yeah.
I had to answer a similar question, and I put Christina McAuliffe, the first teacher in space. She's my inspiration.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Challenger is one of the schools you're looking at, I'm assuming?
Right. I'm a Challenger student. So
You are?
yes.
Okay, cool.
So me and my mom always say it's a coincidence that I came from a
Industry.
school that was named Challenger, and
Yeah.
I love Challenger.
Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's the Challenger story is
Right.
very interesting. What are your plans? Do you plan on, after high school, do you plan on entering into the space industry, whether it's NASA or private or?
Yes.
Yeah?
So right now, like I mentioned, I have an internship with Higher Orbits, which is with the founder, Michelle Lucas. And I've talked to her, and I mentioned to her before that I want to keep working in that industry. And I have a lot of support from her. She's contacted me and put me in contact of other people in the space industry. So I've spoken to chief scientists, I've spoken to flight directors, and so it's helping me a lot. And after high school, I plan on going to Pima and getting my Associates of Applied Science in Business.
Okay.
And then from there, I plan to move on to Arizona State University and get my Bachelor's of Applied Science in Project Management.
Go Devils.
Yeah, and a minor in astronomy.
Cool. So do you want to be, is your plan to actually be in space, or are you one of the on the grounds doing the research and studying what the information that's being sent back? Because that's what most of space exploration is currently.
Right.
Right.
Right. So Right now, I'm looking at the business aspect
Okay.
of working at NASA because since I can remember, I've always told everybody I'm going to work at NASA one day.
Okay.
So right now, I'm looking at the business aspect. But if they came up to me and they told me you want to go to space, I'd be the first one on that rocket.
sign up,
I'm
yeah.
out of here.
Awesome. You have better luck with a billionaire right now to get up there. NASA hasn't sent anyone to space, well, except for obviously to the space station.
Right.
You know.
Well, now we're starting to get back on there with Artemis.
We are.
So
Yeah.
it's going.
It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait.
So before we get into the trivia, which is my favorite part, we've gotta talk about this. This is a subject that needs to be discussed. Aliens?
I believe there's something out there for sure.
But do you believe? So do I. Because in the universe of infinite possibilities, it's impossible for there not to be life
Right.
somewhere.
It
right?
can't be. We can't be the only ones
No,
here.
we
There's got to
can't.
be someone out there.
But do you believe that they visited us?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's
I don't know
hard.
if that's a question I'm
Right.
willing to answer without the data.
Right. It's difficult for sure. I mean, there's possibilities.
There is. And then there is possibilities that another planet somewhere evolved more quickly than
Right.
we did and figured out space exploration and
Right.
visited us thousands of years ago.
Exactly.
But it's also
hard.
very possible that they
right.
might have
Without the hard proof, it's hard to make a decision.
for
off
sure,
Of that.
for sure.
For sure, the moon landing was real, though.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm just
For
kidding.
sure.
Yeah, for sure the moon landing was real in the studio. I'm just kidding. All right, you ready for the trivia?
I'm ready.
Just for the record, I do believe that the moon landing was real. That was a joke.
I'd hope so.
I do not believe that Stanley Kubrick filmed it in the film studio on the set. All right. You know the first one. All right. Who was the first person to ever go into space?
It was Yuri.
Yuri Gagarin. Soviet cosmonaut in April of 1961. His flight, do you know how long his flight lasted?
I want to say like a day.
It was actually only 108 minutes.
Okay.
He was going 25,000 kilometers per hour. And he did a full rotation around the Earth. Oh, that's crazy that you can go around the Earth in 108 minutes. It's insane. All right. So now we're going to be getting into the private sector. Who was the first billionaire to launch themselves into space?
Ooh. It wasn't Elon Musk.
No, because he's never been to space.
Right, he's never been to
He's
space.
never been to space.
Oh, what's his name? It was with Blue Origin.
No.
It wasn't?
It was not. He was actually second. It was before him.
I don't know.
It was Richard Branson from Virgin Galactic was the...
Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, and that was actually in July of 2011.
Virgin Galactic just made a really cool launch. There's this TikToker and she's a mom and she was always posting about how like women can go into space and she just had her launch this week actually. So
That's cool.
with Virgin Galactic.
Yeah,
so
Virgin Galactic has done some pretty cool things. I mean,
They're
everybody
really
talks
cool.
about SpaceX, but Virgin Galactic has done some pretty awesome stuff.
So has Blue Origin. They're
Origin,
doing the
yeah.
orbital reef, which will hopefully be the next ISS. So.
Yeah. Well, Virgin Galactic. One of the coolest things that I think Virgin Galactic did was they actually landed a drone. I guess is the word I'm looking for. A rover in a sense, but it was on an asteroid.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
and
is
they
one
just
of the
collected the sample.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I wrote a story about it for the NHS War Cry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So he launched when Richard Branson launched. He only went 50 miles up, just basically the same thing as Blue Origin, right?
Right.
And they experienced weightlessness for 8 minutes. Now his spaceship was a lot cooler looking than Blue Origin's, though.
I mean, if you look at their rockets right now, like, but they're launching into space. You don't think it's a rocket. 'Cause
Yeah,
it looks
you
like a
don't.
plane.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's going to
interesting.
space.
All right, so now for the final one. Which was the first car ever launched into space?
First car?
First car. Like a production vehicle, not a rover, a motor vehicle. And as far as I know, it's the only one, actually.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It was Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster.
I was going to say a
Yeah.
Tesla, but I was like, I don't know if they've launched something before that.
So in February of 2018, SpaceX launched, Elon Musk donated his Roadster, his personal vehicle that he used for work. He donated it to SpaceX to launch into space. In the driver's seat, before we get into that, this Tesla now, when they ejected it, it locked into orbit kind of in line with Mars. And it's been going around the sun for 5 years, 8 months, and 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's cool, huh?
That is really cool.
In the driver's seat is a mannequin in a spacesuit here. That's actually, that is a picture from...
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Right?
That is really cool.
And we have the picture that we're showing right now too, I believe. They named the mannequin Starman. And in the glove compartment of this Roadster is actually one of my favorite books. Have you ever heard of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes.
Yes. So they put it. Yeah. Have you read it?
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so you should read it. It is great. It is hilarious and thought provoking. They put a copy of that inside the glove compartment.
That is so cool.
Right.
And the fact that it got closed and it's been there for 5 years.
For 5 years, coming up on 6 years. 5 years, 8 months, and 30 days. So actually 5 years, 9 months. But yeah, that is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
And underneath it, they have a plaque that says "Made by Humans on Earth," just in case
aliens
see it somewhere, for sure. Maybe they hitch a ride.
Maybe Chewie and Han Solo.
There you go. All right, so thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I do once again want to ask you to invite the community to participate and make sure that you let them know how.
Yes, of course. So for the community members, please apply for this program. I'm telling you, as an alumni of it, it is mind-changing. The thought of you participating in it, like me right now, after I did it, I still can't wrap my head around that I was able to participate in that and I was able to do it. You're not going to regret it. Trust me, you're going to love it. So please apply. If you need any information, if you need any QR codes, any help, please contact me. My email is yadiyuri2@gmail.com and my phone number is 520-313-5114. I'd be more than happy to help anybody who needs help. Also for the community, I'm trying to raise funds for it right now because it's a really expensive project. And although I do have Higher Orbit's help, it's my project, so I'm trying to find as many funds as I can get for it first. So if I could get help from the community, I would really appreciate it.
You have a GoFundMe?
I do have a GoFundMe right now. Again, I will be posting it. I have it on my Facebook as well. You can find me with my name, Yuridia Sánchez. I have my GoFundMe there. And again, if you need any help or anything, please contact me. But yes, please apply. And if you can, and if you want to, please help us raise the funds for this program. We're going to try to help the entire community of Santa Cruz County. And hopefully this will be something that we can continue for many years going onward.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You heard it from her. She said the aliens built the pyramids.
That is not what I said.
This was a great conversation. I love talking to you. This is such a cool project.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming and talking to me.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So check out on our Facebook page. We will share all of the QR codes and the links to make sure that you can find access to whether you want to donate or whether you want to participate. Come to our Facebook page, go to her Facebook page. We'll have all the information for you there. And don't forget to tune in to us every week right here on Tuesdays in Gringo Más Mexicano. And we'll see you next week.